When I did my initial impressions video on the Rep Fitness Deep Knurl Power Bar EX, I mentioned that I would do a full review a couple of months later. And it's been a year and 2 months since then. I kind of forgot, but here we are a year and 2 months later. This has been my main barbell during that amount of time. So I have a lot of experience with this bar and can give you a very detailed, very experienced review with this bar. But before we get into the video, hi, my name is Ryan Treadaway, founder of treadawaytraining.com, where we turn skinny guys into jacked men. If you want more information on body transforming training and nutrition topics every Sunday, consider subscribing. First, we'll take a look at the specs. The Rep Fitness Deep Knurl Power Bar EX is a 29mm barbell. The knurl markings are standard powerlifting knurl markings with 32 inches between the markings. The tensile strength is 200K. It has a bushing design, and having both a stainless shaft and stainless sleeves is important because most stainless bars only have a stainless shaft, but there's typically chrome sleeves or something like that for the sleeves. That's fine if you're in a climate controlled environment, but with your typical garage gym, there's gonna be more humidity than if you were in a commercial facility or something like that. So rust and oxidation is something that you have to consider when purchasing a barbell. So if you have a stainless bar, but the sleeves are still chrome, then the sleeves, if you don't take good care of them, will rust over time. So with this barbell, it can be a little bit more expensive than a chrome bar, but you don't have to worry as much with the upkeep of the bar since it's fully stainless throughout, and there's not going to be an issue with rust. It also says on the spec page that the knurling on this particular barbell is 75% deeper than any of their other barbell offerings, hence the name Deep Knurl Power Bar EX. And when it comes to the knurling, there are a couple of different main types of knurling. So when you look real close at the knurling, you'll see that the knurling will either come to a point, which is called mountain knurling, which is more aggressive, or you'll see that it kind of is blunted off, and sometimes we'll even have like a little bit of a hole at the tip of the knurling, and that is called Volcano knurling. And with the Power Bar EX, it is mountain style knurling, which is of course more aggressive since it comes to points rather than being blunted off at the top. Personally, I love aggressive knurling. I've been working out on my own for about 11 years now, and then working out for even longer than that because of high school sports. And I have pretty thick calluses on my hands. I love the aggressive knurling. My hands can handle the aggressive knurling because of how long I've been working out. And I've never shredded off a callus or anything like that due to this knurling. It's not quite that sharp. But when I do have a heavier deadlift session, my hands are a little bit on the shredded up side, just barely. So if you have calloused hands, you'll be fine. But if you're a new lifter, then this thing is going to shred your hands to pieces. I've used many barbells in the past, and for my personal preferences, I feel like the Deep Knurl Power Bar EX has the perfect level of aggressiveness. I love that it's so aggressive, but I feel like if it were any more aggressive, then it would probably shred the skin off your hands just a little bit too much. In addition to the aggressive knurling allowing you to get a better grip when doing deadlifts, another thing I love about it is when doing squats. The middle knurling, the center knurling on this bar is aggressive enough that I don't have to chalk my back up when I'm wearing a t-shirt squatting to prevent the bar from wanting to slide down my back. But at the same time, if I'm wearing a tank top when I'm squatting or going shirtless when I'm squatting, I don't notice it digging in to the point where it's terribly uncomfortable either. The outside knurling does go all the way to the sleeve. I personally am not doing anything where I need knurling all the way out to the sleeve, but hey, if for some reason you do some kind of ultra super wide grip exercise, it's knurled for you. The spin of the sleeves is something that I've never really thought much about. The spin of these sleeves, pretty much what I would expect based on all the other barbells that I've used in the past. If you give it a good hard spin, it'll spin around 5 times or so before it comes to a rest. As a quick note on the quality control of this bar, the original barbell that I received after some further inspection, I noticed that there was a little bit of doubling in a couple of places on the bar. There was a couple of places where there was some marking on the bar. And then on the sleeves, after having done deadlifts a few times and having the weights bang against the sleeves of the barbell, there were some pretty deep markings on the sleeves as well, which was a little bit odd considering that was a stainless steel sleeve and some cheap metal weight plates. So I wouldn't expect the metal of the weight plates to be hard enough to mark the stainless steel sleeves. I did bring this to the attention of Rep. They were very accommodating. They were willing to replace the bar immediately. All I did was show them a couple of pictures of what I was talking about, and they replaced it with no hassle whatsoever. And my dad actually wanted to keep the original bar, so I contacted Rep again, and they allowed us to keep the original bar with a steep discount. So we actually have 2 of these Rep Deep Knurl Power Bar EXs. That way, once we build our new home gym in our new basement, whenever we finally get around to building the house, my parents will still have a good barbell here as well when I take the other one with me. And the second one has had no issues at all. The knurling is basically perfect all the way around. No markings, no issues whatsoever. To the best of my knowledge, there hasn't been a direct competitor to the Deep Knurl Power Bar EX until recently when Rogue released their Aggro bar. I haven't used either of those bars personally, so I can't compare them head to head against the Deep Knurl Power Bar EX. But what I can say is I absolutely love this bar, and it's $450 with free shipping, whereas the 2 Aggro bars by Rogue are $510 and $540 plus shipping. And this bar is everything that I want it to be, and it's cheaper, so it's hard to give the nod to Rogue in this instance. And one thing that I will say is if the Aggro bars are more aggressive than the Deep Knurl Power Bar EX, then it's probably gonna straight up rip the skin off of your hands. So I'm gonna say your best option is probably gonna be the Rep Deep Knurl Power Bar EX. And then if you want a barbell that's not quite as aggressive as this bar, but is still very grippy, then my recommendation would be to check out the Rogue Ohio Power Bar. If you want to check out my full home gym tour, click here. If you want to check out some of my other product reviews, click here. As always, God bless you and your family, and we'll see you next week. Getting straight into, now that we've covered this, getting in the knurling on this barbell. Next, let's talk about the knurling. Actually, let's not even do an intro. Let's just jump straight into the next section.